We're going to talk about Libra. And honestly, that's kind of scary. Okay, so I'm a Libra sun and I'm a Libra Venus, if any of you guys even follow that. So this is what it's going to be like with Libra romantically. Where to start? Okay, so first of all, how to tell a Libra likes you? Well, good luck, my friend, because Libras, and I can say this, but Libras, we flirt with everybody. We flirt with people because we feel bad for them. We flirt with people because we know that they like us. We flirt with people because it's fun. I'm not trying to put a bad rap on Libras at all, because instantly when I said that, like, people are going to be like, oh my god, you're making them out to seem like they're a whore. Really, we're not. we just, we're just really indecisive, and honestly, like, that's a thing. So, if you date a Libra, you have to be prepared that they don't really know what they want unless we really, really want you. And the way to tell that is not that we'll flirt with you, because like I was saying before, we feel like we have a connection with everybody, and we actually set out to have a connection with everybody. We want to make it so no one dislikes us. Okay, and this is like kind of weird for me, and I hate doing Libra readings because I feel like I'm about to say some personal shit and call out all my Libras, so just stick with me. Alright. So, yeah, a way to tell a Libra likes you is not because she's flirting with you. If she's flirting with you, you probably got some kind of a friendship going, but honestly, like, we're a little bit manipulative, and like how I was saying before, we will flirt with you because we just want everybody to see us in a positive light. And it's not like how astrologers say we don't want everybody to like us, because when we don't like somebody, eventually we'll make that very clear. And it kind of sucks because for a Libra, it's like we can be cruel, we can be mean, and we can physically, tell somebody, hey, I'm not seeing this, or I'm not into this, and it never fails, because not only with me, but for other Libras I know, when someone starts liking us and like we're being like our flirty self, it's like we're just trying to be your friend. And then it always comes across as like this person not taking no for an answer, and I feel like a lot of Libras get that. They find themselves in situations where they're actually very upset. Like, they'll date somebody who's a friend because it went too far a little bit. Like, we started to be their friends, and like we knew that they liked us, so we went ahead and gave them a chance. And then it's like it comes to a point in a Libra's life where we feel like we can't really get out of it. And I know that sounds really bad, so I'm not saying for everyone who's watching this who likes a Libra, they're like, oh god, she's flirting with me, like, that's bad. We have a different kind of flirt when we do like somebody, okay? If you watched any previous, like, other astrologer, videos or whatever, we have a certain face when we, and I think it's bullshit, because a lot of the videos I've watched are like, Libra has a face and you'll know it if she likes you, and it's this one. And we talk to you and we get really excited, and you fall for that face because it's like, oh my god, her eyes are smiling and she just seems so enthused. Honestly, if we really like you, we're not even going to look at you because we're going to get really shy. We're going to crack a couple jokes with you. We're going to crack some jokes with you. We're going to wait until you flirt with us. And yeah, we can be an aggressor, but usually that's only when we're in bed. If you do sleep with a Libra and she's still giving you this face, eventually, it's weird because you're going to kind of see it like drift away. If we don't like you and you're trying to make a move, our face is probably going to look like this, because right now we're feeling like we're indecisive. Alright, like, oh shit, like, I probably took this too far, and that's usually what Libras do, is we take things too far, and then there is people who do start to like us, so they start to kind of fall in love with that persona, which really isn't us. a lot of the Libras, even me and the Libras I know, there's certain things that we like and we dislike. A lot of the times, if someone, I call it the octopus man, you could be, or whoever, whatever. You could be an octopus man, you could be an octopus woman. The people who are like all over you, who are constantly texting you and who always want your attention. If like we're ignoring you, that is not a good sign. I'm going to tell you this right away. A Libra will always find time for the person that they like. Never fails. Like, yeah, okay, like if especially if it's a guy, and sometimes it can be a girl. A lot of times they want that like one night stand if they think you're cute, or they're just somebody being very horny. They can want that one night stand and they'll text you back. But to know if a Libra is really on the same page with you is actually they'll probably reach out to you first, right? They do like to play the mind games, but only in a social scene. So they'll flirt with your friends. They'll flirt with your neighbor. They'll flirt with someone they just met. They'll flirt with girls, whatever the situation is. But when we are in a social scene, we like to flirt because we know that, or at least we want the person that we're actually crushing on, we want them to see how cute we can be. And I know that sounds really conceited, but honestly, that's just a Libra's nature. All right? So if you're coming on to us, okay, let's just say a Libra comes up to you and she's like, hey, oh my God, I gotta show you something. Or he's like, oh my God, I gotta show you something real quick. And then we do all these things. Like in your mind, we actually might like you. At least what you think, is us liking you. But when it comes to the time where someone else makes a move on us and we don't like them, our face is going to be very serious. Unless it's a very insecure Libra, which a lot of times that can be the case too, where they fall prey to kind of like these situations because we really do put ourselves in. We play cutesy a little bit too much. And that might not be the case for all Libras because there is still some that I know who do like to get their flirt on, but they're more like I can't even pronounce the word, but they're more like independent woman. All Libras are independent women, but we do like the glorious things. That's why I get really pissed off when I see those videos of like, oh, all you have to do to win a Libra chick is to just buy her nice things. Yeah, I like it. I like it when you buy me stuff, but honestly, if we really don't like you, we will take advantage of that and we will just let you buy us food. We will let you buy us clothes because why not? We like nice things because a lot of times a Libra can be a penny pincher and we'll spend a lot on ourselves, but if someone's offering to do it, then someone's offering to do it, and we'll take advantage of that. And in our minds, it's like, honey, or buddy, you're just my friend. You really don't have to do this, and we can tell that to you multiple times. But for some reason, it's a lot of times people don't get it because I think it's because we're so indecisive. It's almost like we're like a Gemini with that multi-personality. Like, I'm just trying to be your friend. I'm just trying to be really friendly, okay? And when we've had enough of it, we'll get really bitchy, and that gets people really mad, okay? So if a Libra actually fucking snaps on you, she does not like you or he does not like you. They don't want anything to do with you. It's not because something you did, all right? It's just because we don't want anything to do with you, and we feel a little bit weird because either A, we kind of led you on, or B, you're just not taking the hint, and, we have to do what we gotta do. We are an iron fist and a velvet glove, honestly. So a way to tell a Libra does like you is everything the opposite of what I just said. If a Libra really does have a crush on you, we won't show it unless we do have the opportunity to get you alone, which is sometimes kind of difficult for us to do. Some pushier Libras, which I've done it myself too, and just other Libras I know. If we really like somebody, we can be the aggressor and we can go after you, and we can say what we have to say. We can tell you, hey, listen, I got a crush on you, because sometimes that happens too. So if a Libra is not telling you, hey, listen, I have a crush on you, if they're not like that bold Libra, they're more of like someone who really hasn't, drank too much, or no, but if she's one that's not like the most secure, because usually it takes a Libra until they get into, a little bit older. They have to be a little bit older to, completely put themselves out there, because even when they feel like they're putting themselves out there, it comes across as a little bit silly, is like the best word I can describe it. So either A will just tell you, or B will actually like ignore you. And I know it sounds really weird, but it's a lot like a Cancer, because we get nervous and we'll flirt with you still. Like, yes, we'll flirt with you, but it will be different. We're not so like flirty with you until we get into a one-on-one, which is different. And a lot of times people will not understand when it's a one-on-one and when we're just doing it for fun. So for me to even like explain it is actually very difficult, because I don't really know how, unless you're like an air sign and you just know how to be quirky, I guess, it's just different. So a lot of times people get very confused because they think a Libra likes them, and then they don't. Either a Libra will snap on them, or it's like, they'll start dating them, or they'll have a fling with them, and then they'll never hear from them, the Libra, again. Or a Libra will just randomly break up with them. They'll cheat on them in certain circumstances when we feel stuck in a relationship. Because a lot of times, the Libra doesn't know how to get out of one if we know that the other person really loves us, because we don't like to hurt people's feelings. So it's like we either rip it off like a Band-Aid, or we just gradually disappear. Kind of like an Aquarius. A Libra, a lot of people don't know that a Libra is pretty good at disappearing, because, a Libra loves love. They really do. We all do. We love but here's the difference. We love the idea of love. Okay? And, so we go out and we search for that perfect person, and that's where it gets a little skewed, because that's why I think we flirt so much and why we give people chances, because you don't know until you try. A Libra has to have like somewhat of a physical attraction to somebody, and a lot of times the people they are crushing on are like super attractive, and then a Libra can get a little bit insecure and feel like that person's out of their lead, and that's where like that shyness comes in. So that's what I'm saying. If we really like you, we tend to be a little shy. Like, we'll, depending on how far along you are with one, we'll still crack jokes at you. If we have a crush. Now, this isn't even in a relationship, because that's a whole different can of beans. A Libra and okay, hold on, let's rewind for a minute. Okay, so if we have a crush on you, a lot of times I find that a Libra gets really like small. Like we don't like we lose a little bit of like common sense. Like we'll still try to socialize with you, we'll still crack jokes, and usually on a surface level, it just seems like we want to be left alone and we're kept to ourselves. But really inside, we're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And every movement we make is like calculated. And that's what's the difference. I know it's like hard to follow, but every move, if like a Libra really likes you, their moves are very calculated. Because we second guess ourselves. Should we act this way? And that's a terrible way to feel, but I feel like that's on the darker side of Libra. And not all of them are like that, honestly, because probably until like a Libra finds the one, they'll be in these situations. But when they do find the one, it's honestly the whole getting into a relationship and the whole flirting thing is completely different. There's something that like ticks where we feel comfortable, and then we really thrive. A lot of times you'll see a Libra in a relationship with not someone who is like less attractive than them, not at all, because Libras will either date very attractive people or they date people who are very, very good to them. Who we know without a doubt, us Libras, that they love us and they'll put us on a pedestal. The only time a Libra gets a broken heart is if that person does not, and I don't want to say put us on a pedestal, but they just, they make us feel small. We don't like people that make us feel small because no one really knows. Because, I mean, some people do. Because, some Libras are very open about them being insecure and them having anxieties, but a lot of Libras have those. And then we're just so good at our social game and we flirt and everything seems fine. But really, it's like a lot of Libras have anxiety. So we need that person to kind of get rid of that in order for us to thrive. So that's why it's like difficult, because when we do have a crush on somebody, we find it difficult to thrive. We find a lot of times that we're less than. We go after people who are like extremely attractive, even though we can be attractive. To us, it's like, well, we're not that good. And it makes us act differently, which I believe gives off a certain energy. So anyways, I'm not gonna, but that's a little bit to just know about a Libra, I guess. I don't want to keep rambling about weird stuff, but I'm just spewing out everything I've noticed and that I've experienced with a Libra. So, but I'm not saying that if like a Libra flirts with you or a Libra flirts with you that it's a bad thing, because like I said, we often get into relationships with the people who make us feel completely ourselves. And it takes a long time for that to happen, so that's why I said Libras flirt so much, so don't get offended. But so with us being nervous and stuff, that's as if we have a crush. Now, let's just say a Libra, usually a lot of the times you'll have to like them first and make that obvious to them. And then either they'll give you a chance, B, they're heartbroken and they get very desperate and they get kind of needy, because Libra are all about that companionship and we know we do well in a relationship. But, and then the third is we just see a lot of potential in you. Okay? So that's always a good thing. So, first it will start off, like if you know you're about to date one or you do want to date one, first it's going to start off and it's probably going to be a little bit of flirtiness, because I've had crushes that I didn't know I had a crush on beforehand and I was still flirting with them. So just have them flirt with you, take the game. Don't be too pushy, don't be too forward, but actually if you do like kind of formal things, that's beautiful, because a lot of times we love that. Us Libras, we love actually just being taken out to eat. And us generation, we forget to do that. We like to be taken bowling. We like to go eat. We like those things where it makes us feel like we're still in the 60s again. A Libra can be an old soul. All right. Let us cook dinner for you. That's a big thing. If you let us be a wife and not actually be your wife, that's awesome. All right. And I know it sounds weird because sometimes you have to like maybe suggest it to like get the idea in our head, but a lot of times we fall in love with that idea of, because a Libra can be where we come off, and a lot of people say Libras are super social, which we are in certain circumstances. Sometimes I can be in a crowd and be in public and I'm not feeling that social, and I'll sit in the corner and drink a beer and smoke a cigarette and not talk to anybody. Other times I am just this completely other person, and I notice that with every Libra. Sometimes when they're in their social scene, they put on their Libra persona, like the velvet, and really behind it we're something different. So if you like a Libra and you can take her out to eat or something, even just starting off, even as you're a friend, whatever, you just have to see where it goes. You know, if you are like being too clingy with us, or you're right away like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, like, little bit, like, yeah, we'll take the compliment, but it's kind of annoying, honestly. If you're like all on her face, like I was saying, the octopus person, like clingy and just blah blah blah. Libras still like to cuddle. We'll cuddle with you. You know, Libras are always very good in bed. They like to try new things. They like to watch. They'll suggest new positions. To know a Libra is really getting comfortable and she likes this, or he or she likes the sex that you're giving them. They actually will suggest different things until you find something that really works, and then they'll become routine, and then they'll like to do that. So, yeah, we're spontaneous, but we will get into a routine if we really like something. So, notice if we keep suggesting the same thing over and over again when you're having sex with us. You know, a fling's a little bit different because a fling, we like to just experiment. It's a new person, it's a new situation. We like to experiment. So, just be, you know, if someone is like, I almost like call it like the Donkey Kong lay. Got a lot of words for these guys, but where they're just like, you know, just bow, 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 just going. They're just on top, and it's boring. Like, okay, like we'll do that. We'll pretend like we're in it sometimes because we want you to get off, and that's, you know. But we like to try new things, so just be open to that if you know, even want to just get in bed with one. Because we won't keep continuing it. If you notice that like you do sleep with a Libra and then they just don't say anything back to you, then they either didn't like what you I'm sorry, but either they didn't like what you're doing, or they're not into you, because a Libra, like I said before, will always make time for the person that they're into. Will always make time. You know, don't put us in a weird situation where we feel uncomfortable. Don't put a Libra in a weird situation where we feel stuck, we feel trapped. Let us hang out with our friends. If you are worried about us going to the bar, you know what we'd love? You to come with us. All right? If, you know, be open to meeting our friends. Be open to meeting our family, because really a Libra, after a while, if when they're in a relationship, they become such a homebody, and they're your homebody. They're your homeboy. They're your fucking chick for life. When a Libra is in a relationship, oh boy, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. I mean, yeah, some Libras can be a little bit weird. They can feel stuck, and when they feel stuck, they cheat, or when they feel bored, they will leave and they will find somebody else. A lot of times a Libra always does have a plan B, whether they're happy or whether they're not. And that doesn't go for everybody. Honestly, that really doesn't. But just a lot of I've seen, we do get bored. Not all the time. So don't, like, if you're in like a happy relationship with a Libra, don't get freaked out by that, because that's not always the case. If you let us cook for you, if you let us cuddle with you, but yet, you know, like you still like let us have like a whole half side of the bed at night, you know, a compliment every here and there is awesome. You know, and you just let us be, and it's kind of hard, because a Libra loves someone who understands them, but to understand them is a process. You know, they can be dramatic at times. They can be so quiet where you feel like they don't even like you. A Libra can be, okay, like signs a Libra is into you is that, for one, she'll still have sex, or she will still have sex with you. Make eye contact. That's the thing. If they still kiss you and they make eye contact with you and they're like still wanting to do fun things, if they're not wanting to do fun things in bed, then that's something weird, or they're finding excuses to do things without you. That's a big one. If they're finding excuses to be out of the house, that's a big one. And I'm not talking if, like, you know that they're like upset and they want to go take a walk at night. That's not really what I mean. It's just they're finding excuses not to spend their time with you. That's probably an issue. Alright, so that is what I have to say about Libra. I hope that made sense. I hope that didn't scare anybody. I'm just telling you what a Libra is about, so you know. They're a very beautiful person. Honestly, they are the best in relationships when they love you, they are the best in relationships. They can also be very good in bed, but they are very loyal if you are good to them, okay? Or else we can be vengeful, like a Scorpio. You don't know. I mean, they could be dramatic and if someone pushes us to our limit. So, you know, just pay a close eye and don't be scared to communicate, honestly. Because at first, you know, Libra might be in denial, and you know, it's just if they're comfortable with you, I just feel like you should know, and I know it sounds so bad, but they'll make it known. If they're just being weird towards you or they're being distant or you see, even on social media, if you see them putting weird shit, they're probably falling out of love with you. Or they're hurt or something. So just, you know, play cool. Honestly, just be yourself. We'll come to a decision eventually. Alright, that's what I got for Libra. I'm so sorry.